This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. So I got leftovers from the holidays. I didn't know what beer to pick. I was going to go to Total Wine. Shout out to Total Wine, my favorite beer store. I was going to go to Total Wine and pick a new beer and all this other stuff. But then I opened my fridge, and I realized I had a couple extras that I hadn't quite drank yet because New Year, the Christmas, Thanksgiving, it's just all the holidays. It's just been a mixed bag of chaos and so I had leftovers. So today we're going to drink leftovers, okay? I have 2 Pitchers Brewing Disco Queen, which is a bubbly rosé radler. I've tried this before, I'm not going to lie. Wasn't a big fan of it. We'll see after some time of some pausing, I guess, if you will, some delay or whatever. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Still not a fan. Also have the combustible Lagartia, the Mexican style lager from Oklahoma. I brought 2 of them because one you can show and the other one's gonna fucking explode, or one you can't show and the other one's not gonna explode. I don't know. These things. See, look, it's exploding now. See, it's exploding now. Literally. I don't know what they put in this thing, but they need to dial it back, bro. Dial it the fuck back. So I'm going to be drinking both of those today because I got them left over, and I need to get New Year, new fridge type, I need to get some more stuff that's not let me get some new stuff in there that's new favorites that I can drink, and I can't necessarily drink the same stuff over and over again, but I had extra of the Lagaritas and Lagartias in the 2 pitchers. So, yes, you will see 2 different cans. It's a mixed bag fucking hangover show because I'm still probably hungover from New Year's. Yes, it was that. Yes. That's a good combination, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's a little sour here, a little spicy kick there. I should have brought a cup, like one of my big beer cups, and just had it there. But anyway, let's get into it, man. News you can booze to. College football playoffs. For all of the SEC fans that I continually piss off on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else, I fucking told you so. One SEC team left in the college football playoffs. One SEC team, and that is Texas, who just got there a year or so ago. So I guess it's a little more of a level playing field than we thought. But also, listen, the college football playoff committee got it right. Yes, it was a little, but success often is. It's never a straight line of yes, that all worked out. No, it was some fuck ups, some hiccups, and some fucking wild shit. And to me, the home games that the first round got, the divisional round or whatever round they're calling the first round got, really had a big benefit because every single one of them won. And when Notre Dame, who I have to respect, Marcus Freeman, great coach, gotta respect it. I had no respect for Notre Dame whatsoever, and I apologize. I am turning a new leaf on the Golden Helmets because that man outcoached the shit out of Kirby Smart and Georgia, and just absolutely put the world on notice. Because I think, just like myself, I wasn't the only one talking down about Notre Dame. I wasn't the only one talking that just didn't they don't have a conference. They're not in a conference. Everybody has the same argument every year. Every college football fan has the same arguments about them. They're never in a conference. They play a mid-schedule at best. This year was a little tougher, but not as tough as some of the SEC schools or Big Ten schools that made the playoffs. So it was just very but man, Has Marcus Freeman, and Notre Dame players figured it out? They have given me great joy in being wrong. I have never in my life been so wrong about a team like them, but I stand corrected with a smile on my face because so fact is they beat Georgia and they took all the SEC. They pretty much took all this SEC talk shit. The fuck, it was really fucking quiet from the Kirby's, from the Herb Streets and the SEC pundits. Even Paul Feinbaum has to admit now, like, damn, well, Notre Dame is the favorite to win the championship, or Ohio State, blah blah blah. Speaking of Ohio State, God. You want to talk about revenge. I mean, the Rose Bowl, the only thing that I will say about the college football playoffs that they need to change is maybe making it less about ticket sales, because I was listening to somebody talk about that. It was very, like they knew the Rose Bowl would be Oregon, Ohio State, because that's typically Big Ten fans, that's what they're used to going anyway. Texas played at the Peach Bowl or Chick-fil-A Bowl, which Texas fans travel. So, and now they're coming to the Cotton Bowl. Arizona State, they weren't really worried about their fans too much. They kind of, they were hoping to sell out as far as that. So I hope next year they don't take in those things into consideration. I would like more of a neutral feel to these games, because I feel like Georgia, who basically played at the Sugar Bowl, which is, in New Orleans, they had to reschedule it because of the tragedy in New Orleans, man. It was some crazy stuff going on this New Year's, man, in Dallas, as well as New Orleans, as well as in Vegas. I mean, it's just been 2025 is starting off literally with the wildest bangs we've seen, and I hope to God that it ends very soon, which we know it probably won't. This craziness continues to happen, and I don't want to make this a political show, or I don't want to make this a news show. We get enough of that on TV. I'm here for relief from all that, but my deepest condolences go out to all the families that tragically lost someone over the New Year holiday. They did not have fun, things of that nature. So, yeah. Segueing out of that, Notre Dame and Georgia played. Like I said, Notre Dame outsmarted the shit out of Kirby with a couple of plays. They just dominated this game very much so from front to back. Like, there was no question about it. And then, of course, Carson Beck wasn't there. And Beck has been playing like shit for the longest anyway. I don't think he would have changed that much. They don't have the offense that they had. We were wrong. I thought they would get far. Georgia would get far, but, it's tough to battle a team like Notre Dame, who is physical, fast, and fucking has a good coach, man. So James Franco, now we have an opportunity. Penn State is going to be facing Notre Dame. So we have a possibility of the first time ever a black coach coaching in the college football finals. Whether James Franco wins or Marcus Freeman wins, whoever wins that game will be the first black coach in college football history to be in college football championship. I believe that's what they're saying. Ohio State has to play Texas at the Cotton Bowl. I'm actually looking for tickets, and if I can get tickets, I'm gonna be there acting a fucking ass. But that game is Friday at 6:30. Next game is Thursday, or the game before that with Notre Dame and Penn State is going to be Thursday at 6:30 Central. I'm actually really looking forward to those two games, because the simple fact is, one, there will be, if Ohio State does what they're supposed to do, there will be no SEC teams in the fucking championship, and I'm so fucking excited about it. But yeah, listen, I don't think that I think the college football committee got it right, man. It just is what it is. They got it right. Penn State beat Boise State in a pretty good game, or Ohio State. Like, they they got it right. Now, the home field advantage thing, I think teams now, once they figure out, oh, we got to get home field advantage, fuck the bye week. They just need home field advantage. Then they will start to, work for that. Maybe the committee will change it. Maybe the committee will make it more of a neutral thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see where they take it from here. They got all of us talking like nonstop about this shit. So, playoffs are here. NFL, playoffs are here. This will probably be the last week that I don't talk about basketball or hockey. I'm going to start including them more. So baseball is only about 80 days away. So there will be more mix-up of stuff. I'm just a very big football fan. And I go to those games a lot more than I go to basketball or hockey, which I'm going to try to stop that. But whatever. I go to baseball games more actually than I do any other sport because I just like going to baseball games and beer, and who doesn't like going to baseball with beer? Like, come on. Anyway. Anyway, I'm going to start including those more so. But before we get into the NFL, actually, let's talk about that. Jimmy Butler. Yo, Miami fans are losing their – it's been a rough week for Miami fans. First, Jimmy Butler comes out and says he's sad. He doesn't like playing in Miami. He wants to get the fuck out of here. He is disgruntled. He does not care about he's just not happy. He's happy off the court, but he's not happy on the court. And they suspended him 7 games, and they got their doors blown off for like 2 of them. Listen, there's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about possibly landing in Memphis, possibly going to Golden State. But realistically speaking, I think a lot of teams are kind of leery about this. So they're just going to be a perfect match in hell for each other. Pat Riley, Spoelstra, and Jimmy Butler. They're just going to have to deal with each other because I don't think a lot of teams are lining up for them. They were talking to Mavs and all that stuff, but I think the Mavs they don't want that type of culture. They're dealing with their own shit right now as far as injuries. Luka, Kyrie, everybody's getting banged up over there in the West. OKC is fucking taking the front runner. They're young and running it. I don't think they want that headache. Memphis, I think they can handle it. I think Memphis would be a nice little spot for him to land. But we'll see. Other news in the NBA, it's not really much going on, man. And people are starting to talk about it already. Jokic is already putting up a 3rd MVP type of year. That man is just single-handedly one of the greatest basketball players I've seen in a while. Wembanyama continues to get dunked on and shoot threes. And Philly continues to be an eyesore in the East. And Cleveland and the Celtics continue to rise to the top. That about sums up the NBA. It's nothing to talk about before the All-Star break. Listen, it is what it is. After football season, it gets a little more focused. College basketball has been pretty good. Kentucky's doing good. Kansas, Duke, the regular powerhouses are doing good. I think it's Arkansas where Calipari went. They're doing decent, I guess I would say. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, it's just so much going on as far as basketball. It's a long ass season. Shit. So I'm going to start paying attention to them more so now because, March Madness is coming up and that's a moneymaker for me. It's September to about January, then then February or January-ish to March or January-ish, March. Fucking big betting for me. So anyway, let's get to the NFL. Miami, we'll start with you since we're already down there. Tyreek Hill has requested a trade that he wants out. He made a public statement. He's been very cryptic and wilding out all end of the season. I think the Dolphins made a bet on Tua and Mike McDaniels, whatever the case may be, who every day is starting to look like a cartel member. They made a bet with them, and unfortunately, Tua is just constantly getting hurt. 55 million, man. They paid that man 55 million. Jesus. They did not make the playoffs. They are out. Broncos blew the fucking doors off the Chiefs, but of course the Chiefs didn't play anybody. The Chiefs didn't have Pat, Kelsey. I mean, they really just didn't play any major players on offense. It was a destructive blowout. The Bears finally beat the Packers. I'm going to breeze over that because I don't want to talk about it. Cleveland lost to Baltimore. Cincinnati won against Pittsburgh, which listen, Cincinnati could have made the playoffs if the Dolphins didn't. They could have made it if the Chiefs would have played and beat the Broncos. Then they could have made it, but it was there was no point in playing anybody. Remain healthy. They had the first spot clinched, weeks ago, I guess. So it's whatever. NFC was very interesting though because Atlanta was playing to get in. Tampa was playing to get in. Washington was playing for seeding, and Green Bay, of course, was playing for seeding as well. Washington, if they won against Dallas, they would get the 6th seed, whereas Green Bay, if they'd have won against Chicago and Washington lost, then they would have got the 6th seed. Honestly, I'll say this for the playoffs, and I'm going to make my picks later today because we're going to do a little bit of Better Beer, Bet the House on the show today, and I'm going to make my picks for the college football playoffs as well as the NFL playoffs first round, and then we'll go from there, and then I'm just going to, we're going to do like an elimination. Fuck it. At any rate, so the Commanders won, so it really didn't matter, I think. Jordan Love almost got hurt, got like a funny bone hit thing going on, and it was just, yeah. So, and then Tampa Bay beat the Saints. It was actually closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. The spread was almost the spread was like 2.5 touchdowns. It's crazy. The Saints played them at Tampa pretty fucking strong. Atlanta as well won. They lost in OT. But they had already figured out they hadn't got in, so it was very weird for them to continue to do all this. Bryce Young has had a second coming in the second half of the season, but he literally, thank God for that car accident. He might have sent somebody he might have sent somebody at Andy Dalton, because if he wouldn't have got a chance to play for the second go round, he might not have a job. But yeah. Listen, it is what it is. They figured it out. They went. They won in OT. Carolina did, and so Atlanta is now out of the playoffs with some question marks as far as do they go forward with Penix? I think the answer is yes. They still owe Kirk Cousins quite a bit of money, of course, because he is the highway robbery man of the NFL. And he has all the guaranteed contracts, just like Deshaun Watson, who's making TikTok videos and having setbacks all at the same time. It's crazy how that happens. So yeah, the draft is also set. I really, like I said, it was the Week 18. There's not a lot of games to really care about besides those. Saquon Barkley didn't play, so he didn't have the opportunity to win or get that record from Eric Dickerson, which is cool. It's, me personally, I would have gone for it, but I'm a fan, not a player, or a coach, so it's understandable. New England beat Buffalo, which didn't really matter. Now New England basically dropped themselves pretty low not dropped themselves low in the draft, but I think they're like 4th or something like that now. And then Miami lost to New York, the Jets, which have some question marks themselves. They got a lot of people they're probably going to start getting rid of. Obviously, we know they need a coach, GM, and we know that they're probably going to be out of a quarterback as well as 2 or 3 wide receivers and some defenders. It's going to be very, very fun to see the shit show that has been New York Jets because it's like you bet all this money, you bet all this space and all. We did everything to satisfy and bring the Jets, Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff like that. You did all this stuff and it just failed miserably. And now you're just like stuck with the shit. And it's crazy. The most important game, Sunday night game, Minnesota versus Detroit. Listen, I get it. A lot of people are saying Detroit is banged up. Detroit is... They're having too many. They have too many injuries. It was Minnesota's time. Blah 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 blah. None of that fucking mattered. Minnesota spent $2 million on tickets, so that they would have the back half of them or the seats by them fucking covered in the secondary market. They bought $2 million, supposedly $1.9 million, something like that. They bought a bunch of fucking tickets. It did not matter. They scored 9 points. It did not matter how many tickets they bought. It was a fucking away game. The Lions came to play and it was a defensive battle the first half or so. It was kind of like, Jesus, is anybody going to score? And then of course, the run, what was his name? Gibbs. Yeah, Gibbs went crazy. You could tell the better team. Like Sam Darnold had picks, Jared Goff had picks, but eventually it came down to the very thing that the Lions are just a cut above. They are the NFC North Kings. I got to give respect where respect is due. We'll see you again in the playoffs. Dan Campbell said something to Kevin O'Connor when they shook hands at the end, said, see you in 2 weeks. I don't think so. But listen, I understand. I would say the same thing to hype them up against the Buccaneers, but be careful with them Bucks. That's all I'm going to say, Minnesota. Be careful with them Bucks. And so, as the playoffs sit right now, you have the Chargers versus the Texans, which the Chargers are going. The Chargers are going to Texas, they're not in LA. Yeah, this is really weird how they have this set up. But anyway, Chiefs are on bye, Lions are on bye. And then you have the Texans and Chargers. And then you have the Ravens and Steelers for a third time this season. I don't know if anyone's excited to see that. It'll be Chargers at Texans, Steelers at Ravens. Yes, you heard that correct, because they have slid to 6 and the Ravens slid up to 3. How the mighty have fallen. And Bills versus Broncos. Now, we're going to do this now. All right. Let me say this first. Then NFC, you have the Rams and the Vikings. I'm sorry. I thought the Bucks were going to be, the Bucks moved up to 3. Jesus. All right. So it's the Rams versus the Vikings. That's interesting. And then it is the Bucks and Commanders. And then it's the Eagles and Packers. Eagles and Packers. I'm excited about that one. I'm not going to lie. All right. So we're going to jump. This is a mixed bag. So we're going to just jump and do bet a beer or bet the house. Picks only. All right. I guess we should do college football first, and then we'll do NFL after, right? So let's see. College football. So we have Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas. So with the showing that Ohio State showed versus Oregon after losing to Michigan, I think losing to Michigan, although I said it was on purpose, I think it was also one of the best things that fucking happened to Ryan Day and Ohio State. Period. Point blank. I don't think anybody had them in this realm of fucking where they're at now. Like, nobody. So I'm taking Ohio State to win. Texas just has a lot of question marks. They let Arizona State come back and almost win that game. It might have, if it wasn't for a non-targeting call, it might have been Arizona State versus Ohio State. So yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but Texas just hasn't shown me anything. So I am taking Ohio State to get to the finals. Now for the more interesting game. Penn State, Notre Dame. Listen, Notre Dame has continued to show me I have been wrong. Penn State has actually showed me this is the prove Ziggy wrong game. So both of them have shown me they are better than what I thought they were. They've continued to prove me wrong. I think the buck stops today, though. I got Notre Dame winning the game. Notre Dame is favored by 2.5 points. There's a reason. I'm taking Notre Dame, Ohio State to be in the championship. And yes, I know it sounds like Paul Feinbaum pick, but I mean, Penn State just doesn't, to me, have the firepower. If you can shut down Georgia that way, if you can shut down Indiana the way, I just feel like Notre Dame is on a fucking historic run, and it ends with a championship, and I'm happy for them. You know, I'm glad to see a black coach winning it, and I'm glad to see. I'm hopefully Freeman goes all the way. So on to the big boys, to the NFL. Let's see. Texans and Chargers. Listen, the Texans kind of like limped into this. The AFC South has been absolutely terrible. Three of the teams in the AFC South are in top 15 or top 10 picks. Excuse me. I'll double check that, but I know two of them are Jags and the Titans. And if I'm not mistaken, the Titans have number 1 pick, and then the Colts aren't far behind. So AFC South has been shit. Chargers surprisingly have not, and I feel like the Chargers, quiet as kept, have one of the better defenses in the league. Two, I think that Herbert is good as long as he's game managing now. Like I feel like he's not trying to put it all on his shoulders anymore. I feel like Harbaugh is coaching him up right. I got the Chargers winning. Then it's the Steelers at Ravens. My heart says Steelers because of all my family that are Steelers fans. But I'm going Ravens. I think that the Ravens, which -10 is insane, but coming out the woodwork that's insane. -10 is the spread. That's insane. I got the Ravens on this one, though. I just think that they have too much firepower for the Steelers. The Steelers just they continue to look like mediocre on offense. I don't know what's going on with Russ, and I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on with the offense, man. The defense, we know it's going to be there, but the offense, if you can't score against the Ravens, then, you're in fucking trouble. And then we got Broncos at Bills. Listen, Buffalo with the MVP, Josh Allen, although some would argue that it should be Lamar or Joe Burrow. Josh Allen just had too many MVP fucking moments, but whatever. I think the Broncos are good. I just don't think they're ready yet. I think not this year. They're missing a couple pieces to keep up with the Bills. Now, I will say this though. Broncos are not scared of Buffalo. I think this spread is the spread is -9. It's so disrespectful to the Broncos. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would say motherfucking Broncos at +9 right now before Vegas changed their fucking mind, because that is so disrespectful. I don't think Bo Nix is going to be I think Bo Nix is a better rookie than a lot of people thought he was going to be. I think that Sean Payton has coached them up, and that defense is not they're not a pushover defense. They were good last year. They're better this year. And Patrick Surtain is probably one of the best DBs in the league right now. Period. Point. Fucking blank. And it just is what it is. So I'm going to take the Bills to squeak this one out because it is their year to get to the AFC Championship. So next week you'll already know who I'm picking. But anyway, I'm going Bills to win and squeak this motherfucker out. Squeak by the fucking hair on their chin this out. I think the Broncos are going to give them all the work they can handle because, again, you shut down Josh Allen, which is a very big task to do. I'm not saying it's an easy task. It's definitely the hardest task in the NFL to do, apparently. But if you can figure out a way to lock down him from mobility wise and stuff like that, then you could win this. They could easily win this game, but I just don't see it. All right. NFC. We got Rams versus Vikings, right? So the spread is minus 1.5 Vikings. So, listen, the Vikings are on a phenomenal run. Sam Darnold has literally wrote himself whatever kind of check he wants from a team that needs a quarterback that doesn't draft one. Giants looking at you. But I think that the Rams got healthy at the right time. They're playing at home. The Rams have Matthew Stafford, who knows the Vikings, who used to be in that division with the Vikings, and knows. I don't think either team is scared of either team. Like, I'm not going to say that. That's why this is coming out the works at 1.5. Minus 1.5. So Vegas understands that this is basically a pick-me game. But I bet by the time the week comes up to Friday or they play Sunday. So I bet you by Saturday, this game will be damn near a pick-me, which it almost is a pick-me now. It'll be a pick-me basically. Or it might slide to the Rams. Anyway, I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams to win this game. I think the Rams are just better than what people have been giving them credit for. Missing Aaron Donald, yes, I get it, but I think that the Rams actually are going to end up winning that game. Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, hell, Cooper Kupp might make a sighting. Kyron Williams, this is so much going on, and like the Lions showed, you can run the ball if you have the attrition or if you have the stamina to go with the Vikings defense. Their defense is pretty good, but they get tired. If you put it on Sam Darnold, which the Rams defense, healthy as they are getting, can do, or healthy as they have gotten, can do. So we'll see. But I have the Rams winning that. So yeah. Next up, Bucks versus Commanders. Listen, this is the scrappy fucking Baker Mayfields versus the fucking smooth, cool, calm Commanders and Jaden Daniels. Listen, I think Vegas knows something. They have Tampa at -3. I think Vegas understands that Baker and them are not going away. Their defense is not no slouches. They are the only team that beat Detroit. I'll say this again. They are the only team that beat Detroit. So listen, I think that Detroit. I think that Baker and the Bucks are going to be a little too much for the Commanders. The Commanders have squeaked out some miracles before and things like that. That's why the spread is so small. But I think that, unfortunately, the motherfucking the Bucks are just not. They're not going quietly into the night. Now this one is near and dear to my heart. It's the Packers at Eagles. Everybody knows who I'm going with. I'm not going against my fucking team. First off, but here's my reasoning. As a betting man, I would take the Packers plus 4.5 on this, because right now the spread is 4.5. I would take the Packers plus 4.5 because the simple fact is that last game was a very close game and it was in Brazil, so it was a very strange traveling situation kind of game. At that time, all players were healthy except for Jordan Love. Jordan Love had some lingering things going on, blah, 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 and then he got hurt towards the end of the game. Almost won that game. 2, Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol as it sits right now. As Tuesday, it sits right now. Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol. So, with that being said, if Jalen Hurts is not 100%, which most likely he might not be, even if he plays, he might not be 100%, I'll take my fucking chances with Kenny Pickett or the other guy. I will take my chances against them versus the Packers defense. So I'm going to take the Packers to win. Of course, go Pack, go. But it's going to be a very it's going to be a very hard-fought game. Saquon Barkley's going to have a good day, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get much else, period. Like I said, Saquon might be the saving grace, but I'm taking Packers. Matter of fact, I might take the spread plus 4.5 because, I mean, you know, I just know they're going to win outright. And then they're going to go face the Bucks. Oof. But anyway, that was Better Beer, Bet the House, Pick'em style. Next up, man, we're going to do Beer Goggles of the Week. Listen, it wasn't very many funny-ass games, funny things going on, but the Cowboys trip me out every single time because, like, why are y'all on? Why? Just why?
As to the status of McCarthy. Oh boy. Brandon Aubrey, again with the penalty. The ball was spotted at the 50, and he's still going to boot it out of bounds. They're going to somehow give great field position at the 40-yard line to Washington here.
Cameraman tried to deflect it.
Hopefully all right, pal. We saw KP in the shot there, too, trying to maneuver it.
First down.
At least she's smiling. Ouch, those K-balls are no joke. I told you.
You were telling me about...
That's hilarious. Brett Aubrey, I think he did that show on purpose because if I'm not mistaken, one of the cheerleaders is fucking dating a commander or some shit like that, or was dating a commander, the kicker or something like that. So it's funny that she got rocked in the head on the sideline with the commanders. That's crazy. Next up, man, Jets doing what the Jets do, baby.
So much better under Weaver. And around Devontae Adams looking to throw back to Rodgers. Razzle-dazzle, but covered well by the Dolphins. Adams again is decked. Ball is out, incomplete.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that they kept throwing it back and forth and back and forth. Like, that was how their season was. That's how y'all season was. That's crazy. Really, that was really it. There was some other things that were funny as shit to me on Beer Goggles, but I was hungover from New Year's, so I just don't. Some of the things I'm not going to make fun of because it's just, it is what it is. So that was Beer Goggles of the Week. Those of you that know. Because you may not know why I'm laughing at that. But Fox Sports is in the fucking news like crazy right now. And there are some videos going out of of her, but talking about her from Emmanuel Acho and the stories, the lawsuit. I don't really do the rumors and stuff. Allegedly, they've been fucking around. Allegedly, Joy Taylor slept with a Fox Sports executive to get a show and things like that. And Skip Bayless is the wildest in that lawsuit. Skip Bayless offering somebody 1.5 to sleep with him is 1.5 million. Is the most exaggerated, crazy shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm hoping that is false. Because 1.5, my dude, you could have had 40 virgins or 40 OnlyFans your way. You could have been screaming, howling at the moon. That is insane. 1.5 just yikes. That's some nasty work. But yeah, listen, there were some videos going around of like with Acho, and I wanted to put it on there. I really wanted to put them on here for Beer Goggles because the shit is funny to me because they're all sports media and they're all like in my better judgment said no. So hopefully it's not true. I think Joy Taylor is fucking amazing. Jason Whitlock is wild as hell too. So listen. Maybe later I'll repost them on Instagram and Twitter and let y'all know what I'm talking about. But that is Beer Goggles of the Week. That is Beer Goggles of the Week. Anyway, it's time for the 6-pack of the week. And this week, I didn't know Randy Moss played for Ohio State.
12 personnel. Handoff. Run to the left. Jordan James. Wow. Ram truck.
Okay, Lathan Ransom. That's how you fill the gap, isn't it, D-Buck?
That's how you show up and fill that gap. That's gap discipline right there, AJ.
He was a Ram truck nominee earlier this year for us.
That's textbook.
He came from about 11, 12 yards deep.
Lathan Ram.
Not Randy Moss, excuse me. I fucking notated that wrong. That's hilarious. Yeah, but that hit was fucking disgusting. That deserved to be on Six Pack of the Week because that man, that crack, you heard it even on the Pat McAfee, even on the regular broadcast. You heard that hit. What a hit. Next up is the Broncos with a magic trick.
Move over, get in your position. Here's Nix, rolling out, looking for the rookie record. Ball tipped and caught! Oh my gosh!
That was amazing. I don't know how that was a magic trick for real. Man, that's crazy. And in continuing the defensive fucking love around here, there was some great defensive plays. But this one was crazy.
We'll put another incentive in for him. Oliver fumbled the football. It's picked up by Barnett, who's having a day. He's rumbling inside the 10, pulling guys inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Texans.
Yo, Barnett. First off, he just manhandled that fucking receiver or tight end, whoever the fuck it was supposed to get the ball, and then fucking threw his own teammate, and then somersaulted for a touchdown. Yeah, nah, that's crazy. And then I got 2 for the price of 1 and 2 for the price of 1 here. Yeah, so shout out to Mike Evans for getting his 1,000-yard, $3 million bonus. Everybody talking about this the whole time. He also caught up with Jerry Rice, 11th season, 1,000-yard receiving.
Great for these records, but
Mayfield throwing. Evans! He's got it! He does it! Jerry Rice has company!
So everybody was celebrating him for that. I think that that's dope. I like the fact that he did that, and yeah, I felt like that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely should have been put up there. Like as far as he should definitely be Hall of Fame. Let's just put it that way. And next up is my man, motherfucking Jamar Chase with the Triple Crown. Yes, Triple Crown. He had 175 targets, 127 receptions, 1,700 yards, and 17 touchdowns this year, and they all looked a lot like this.
Pittsburgh. Burrow, sideline, little back shoulder, and a catch. Beautiful grab by Jamar Chase. What a catch. Oh, unbelievable catch. That he's able to toe tap, keep his feet in bounds, make a...
Very good. Very good catch. Yeah, he got basically the Triple Crown, if you will. 17 touchdowns, 1,700 yards, and 175 targets. The dude has just been crazy. He's had a great year. Unfortunately, it is come to an end, and he will not be in the playoffs. And these next two deserve, like I said, Bryce has been putting up a hell of a fucking year, second half of the year. But I felt like these two needed to be combined because Lamar Jackson started this shit on Thursday night and, excuse me, was it Saturday? It might have been Saturday. And then Bryce Young finished it off on Sunday.
Good about this throw after you let it go.
1 of 1.
Quarterback continuing to grow and elevate his play in Carolina. And he knew it before the ball even got there. That was Steph Curry throwing up the 3 and retreating without even seeing it. Knew it as he released the.
Knew it as soon as he released it. It was fucking gone. So that was six-pack of the week. So now it's time for the conversations at the keg. And what I will say is this. In the new year, I'm going to make it really, really brief because I'm already over time. And like I told you, I was kind of hungover from New Year's and shit. But I will say this. New Year's resolutions are here, and we are setting goals and things like that, and vision boards and all that stuff like that. And I'm not hating it. I'm not knocking it. I actually think it's pretty dope. I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, the new year, people are trying to change in the right direction, and that's great. Absolutely great. I will not be. I will not be. I love myself. I love my life. Yes, there are things that I would tweak, and yes, there are things that I would definitely try to do better. I work out religiously, literally in a hoodie and sweatpants right now because I just came straight from the gym. But listen, I love you guys. I love this. I love beer. I love football. I love sports in general, but listen, I'm nothing. There's not a New Year's resolution that I could think of that I would change. Maybe a little more time with my son. But even that little dickhead doesn't really even like football. He doesn't like watching football with me. So, you know, fuck it. Listen, there is nothing that I felt in the New Year resolution that I wanted to change for myself, but more money for more beer and more parties and more sporting events and more fandom. That's it. That was it. So I'm not changing shit. I appreciate y'all. I am grateful for the ones that rock with me from the beginning to the end, to the new, to the now. I appreciate all of y'all. So I don't want to change a thing. I just want you to share it. Tell your friends, listen, this is what you want to watch if you like sports and you don't like all the political lawsuits, whatever, all the mumbo jumbo outside of all that shit. This is what you want to watch. So cheers to you guys, and thank you for making me not have to do a New Year's resolutions. This is Beer 30, Sports O'Clock. Oh, yeah, I should definitely mix those in a cup.